Yo, what's going on, guys? Snooze Man back here with another YouTube video, and today we're actually going to be talking about the best sliders to use for realistic gameplay here in Madden 21 franchise mode as of April 27th here. Now, I try to keep this as consistent as I can. I have made prior videos talking about sliders. Now, today I want to be covering the best sliders to use for realistic gameplay in leagues. So I'm going to go right into it talking about XP and gameplay sliders. First, I'm going to go into XP. Now, this can be meant for simulation leagues, or you can be playing out your leagues. Either or, you want the most realistic roster or the most realistic gameplay for your team, so you don't want like ridiculous numbers or insane skill points throughout the league and stuff like that. And this is going to help you guys out with that for realistic purposes through sliders. So I'm going to go through XP sliders. Now remember, this is not just meant for your team. So the chart that I have right here for XP points is not just meant for your roster. This is meant through all 32 teams across every franchise and every team. So every team is going to get, let's say, 90 XP points towards their quarterback throughout the year, and that'll, equivalent to whatever their skill points is, and it's not going to be a high number for this certain position. Now that's going to be throughout the whole league, so it's not just yours. So I just want to keep that out, or put that out there, and let you guys know about that. Just a quick reminder. But here we are, and we are already low on quarterback here for the XP points. Just because quarterbacks get a lot, especially if they play decent through sim or whether you're playing it out. Halfbacks don't get a lot here. In my opinion, I think they deserve to be a little higher. They need to be bumped up a little higher. Tight ends, it's kind of where it is for me right now. Tight ends are tight ends. I feel like that's appropriate for where they are. Young guys, like a Cole Kmet on the Bears, is going to thrive still, especially if you move him around in the offense. So I feel like that's right. Wide receivers, they need to be boosted a little bit. There's guys with really good stats that don't get benefited a lot. Fullbacks, I feel like as being realistic as possible, fullbacks aren't really involved into offenses unless you're one of those Madden players that likes to involve fullbacks. I think 85 is the right fit for that. I'm a huge offensive lineman guy because that leads to better production. Quarterback, running back, and wide receivers. This is the most important position, really, on offense, in my opinion, because I think it helps out every level of your offense. Now, if you don't have offensive linemen, that's not going to do you any good when it comes down to, your running back running through your holes, or let's say you have an athletic quarterback, or having enough time to get it to those playmakers. Defensive ends, defensive tackles, same thing, because I feel like the D line is kind of um, not really looked at much in terms of XP points. You don't really get a lot there. So I felt like bumping that up a little bit. Middle linebackers, you can kind of move them around. You can even take a strong safety hybrid and move them to middle linebacker. You can take a bigger corner, move them to middle linebacker. Development traits are really easy to rise at the middle linebacker position. So I feel like through skill points wise, I think that's right where it is, or it even needs to be lowered a little bit as I did here. Outside linebackers, I boosted a good amount only because outside linebackers are extremely hard, as you know of, to get up. Those are just rare positions to get a lot of skill points at, unless it's a very young guy with a decent dev or a high dev. Now, I've kept it at the same right here for corner, free safety, and strong safeties for the secondary here, just because these guys can thrive. This is probably the main position that gets the most skill points at, in my opinion, when it comes to younger guys. This position outside of quarterbacks here. So secondary, I just kind of kept there, but I think secondary is very important to have in terms of skill points and to upgrade them to their fullest potential. Kickers and punters, I just kind of kept there. They're kickers and punters, unless you guys want to touch that. Again, you guys can touch this at your own will. I'm just putting the best one, my updated version of these sliders as of right now that I feel like is the most realistic and the best for right now. Now we're going to hop over into gameplay sliders as it just came out of XP here. Now we're in gameplay, guys, and again, realistic stuff here. QB accuracy, I dipped a little bit. It can kind of get insane, especially if you have an athletic quarterback. Pass blocking, wide receiver catching, a little bit lower just because I have XP points kind of risen a little bit for wide receivers. I know it can get kind of crazy out there, especially once they get some boosts in stats. Pass blocking, I lowered a little bit. Let me see, run blocking, though, I made up for it and improved that by 5. Fumbles, I increased that. Kept that there, kept that stagnant. I feel like those two are good to keep there. Pass coverage at 60, tackling at 48. QB accuracy, now I boosted that up a couple over my QB accuracy at 48, so I gave the CPU a little bit of an edge there. Pass blocking at 50, I gave them an edge on that. Wide receiver catching at 45. Run blocking at 50. So I have a 55, they have a 50, so we're going to kind of separate some things here. I gave them 55 fumbles. I feel like fumbles should be increased in gameplays, in my opinion. I feel like they don't happen enough. So on both sides, I feel like that's more realistic to boost that. Pass defense, reaction time, we have a 48 here, and then we have a 50 up there. So I gave my defense a little bit of a boost at that. Interceptions, I kept that at stagnant. I feel like that's smart. Pass coverage, I have at 60 for mine. This one for CPU, I gave 55, so I gave myself a little bit of a boost right there, only because their QB accuracy is 52. I gave them a couple above there, so I want to make my defense aware of that. And then tackling, though, I subtracted that a couple and gave them a couple there, or just left them at 50. And then I just kind of kept all of these at the same. Again, you can touch all of these, but I hit all the main points, which is all of these, the CPU skill and the player skill for league sliders here. Let me know what type of XP sliders and gameplay sliders you guys are rocking for realistic leagues. Now, again, I will come out with future videos on this topic a lot more times. I will probably be coming next out with a fantasy style instead of a realistic, and then I'll bounce back to realistic. So I kind of keep bouncing back and forth and updating you guys on this. I try to do it monthly, once monthly or so. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this, and hopefully you guys are using this for your leagues here for realistic franchises. Now we still are trying to hit 300 subs. We are very, very close now. I believe we're only like 17 subs out, so thank you guys for that up to this point. But again, that will be it for today's video, guys. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.